Fountain of Youth.
There's one over there. Bob had some. He had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, he told me.
There's a map for you. That's the park itself. There's number 3.
Huh? Okay, so let's see if you get younger. Drink it if you get younger.
Oh wow.
It's good?
Try it.
Power.
So I guess we go that way.
Very first Colonia. Hey, Peacock. Crazy Peacock.
Apparently they got an old ship out here too.
$145.
Was it? Yeah, it's like 130. Alabama.
Alabama.
Alabama. That's right. Well, welcome to Florida. Hope you're enjoying your visit here.
Yes, we are.
My name is Daniel. I'm going to be doing a demonstration with the Matchlock Archibus. Now, this weapon was invented in the mid-1400s in Europe, and this is a copy of one the Spanish would have had in 1515. And they call it a matchlock because it uses this slow match cord to fire it. This is a natural fiber cord that I soaked in a solution of water and potassium nitrate, otherwise known as saltpeter. Once it dries and you light it, it burns very hot and very slow. It's lit burning now, and it has to be lit burning to fire this gun. They also use it to fire the cannon. Now, the Spanish Army had 2 requirements for all the gunsmiths throughout Spain because they all made their guns a little bit differently. The first one was that the stock had to be made out of one solid piece of hardwood with no cracks or knots in it. Want to make sure it was durable. It also takes about 45 seconds to load this gun, so in between shots you may have to use it as a club. The second thing was that each gun comes with its own bullet mold. And when I mean bullet mold, I'm talking about a lead ball. They all had different calibers. They didn't have a set caliber, so you had to make your own ammunition, so you had to have a mold to go to your gun. The mold kind of reminds me of a handheld nutcracker. This is a 62 caliber gun that would have came with a 60 caliber bullet mold. And the reason why the ball was smaller is because the charcoal that's inside the gunpowder leaves a fouling or residue inside the barrel each time you fire it, making the inside of the barrel smaller and smaller. The Spanish expected you to be able to shoot your gun 8 to 10 times before you had to clean it. They figure after 8 to 10 times the battle should be over. This caused the ball to kind of bounce down the barrel, making it horribly inaccurate. So they'd have to do volley shots. The guys would all line up shoulder to shoulder. There'd be at least 4 rows of them. The first row would all shoot at the same time at the same target, not more than 80 to 100 yards away, hoping that one of the balls would hit whatever they're shooting at. Second row would fire, third row would fire. By the time the 4th row got done firing, their first row, whoever was still alive in it, should have their guns reloaded and begin to start all over again. Now, 50 and 65 of Pico Menendez comes to Florida. It's very jungle-like here. You didn't really have the wide open areas of dunes about So we believe they're using this truly as an escapeta or shotgun shooting the shot, the BBs out. Essentially, this is a smooth bore 20 gauge shotgun. With that said, I'm going to show you how this works before I load it. So you have the pan that's welded to the side of the gun. There's a small hole that goes from the pan to inside the barrel called a vent hole. I'm going to pour powder in the pan. I'm going to pour powder down the barrel. I'm going to put wadding down the barrel. Then you take this piece here called the serpentine, because it kind of looks like a snake, and you take your match cord, place it in there, and when you have a position just so, and you pull up on this long trigger, it lowers the match cord into the pan. Okay? When you do that, it ignites the powder, sends a flame through the vent hole, igniting the main charge in the gun, making the gun fire. Now, if I can do all that without burning myself, it's going to be an added bonus for me. So I take the match cord, place it in my left hand, take out my priming flask. This has a fine-grained gunpowder that ignites easily, and I pour that into the pan. Take the powder, close the pan cover. When I did that, there's some excess powder on top of there, I need to get rid of it. If an ember were to come off and hit it, or later on when I test it, it could inadvertently fire the gun before I'm ready. Move the gun over to my left. Now some guys have a flask with a medium grain gunpowder in it. I have a powder bottle. Pop the cap off so I don't lose it. And pour that down the barrel. Next step would be putting in a projectile, whether it be a single loose-fitting lead ball or the BBs for a shotgun. With that said, that's dangerous. We're going to skip that part. We're going to move on to the wadding. And the wadding I made out of Spanish moss. That's what the English called it. Spanish weren't very fond of that. They also weren't very fond of the French. And the Spanish would say that if you look at the moss hanging down from the trees, it looks like the beard of an old man is too weak to fight. So they called it French beard. The Tabookans, they call it what they thought it was. Tree hair. Place that in the barrel. Take out my ramrod. Pack that down nice and tight. This will compress the powder so it shoots properly. It also would hold the projectile in place if there was one, because without the wadding when I did this, everything would just fall on the ground. Alright, gun's loaded. We'll want to expose the hottest part of the match cord, place it in the serpentine, making sure it's positioned and it actually goes into the pan. You have to test that. That's why you don't want to have any of that excess powder on top of there. I'm going to go through a series of commands. My last command is going to be fuego, which means fire. I will then fire the gun. It will sound like a gunshot. Bravo la mecha. Prepare. Apunten. Fuego. And that completes my demonstration of the Matchlock Archivist. Does anybody have any questions, comments, confessions, or complaints?
Violent reactions.
Rough way to do war, though.
Right?
When you're done with the match cord, you take out your handy dandy knife and you cut the tip of it off. You can't blow it out, and if you were to douse it in water, you wouldn't be able to use it again until it dried out.
Did you use your match part of their 1565? Of course, that was the crossbow. Now, the crossbow is an ancient weapon. It's actually invented by the Chinese right around 600 BC. It made its way from the Far East up to the Middle East, eventually Europe. We're going to come here to Florida, the New World, with the explorers. You see, right around the turn of the century, going from the 1400s to the 1500s, the armies of Europe are going away from this type of weapon and going to the more modern matchlock arquebus, which is actually demonstrated over there. The new guns were coming out, so the armories were filled with these things. What were they going to do with them? They decided to give them to the explorers. Explorers are happy to take them for a number of reasons. First off, you have to understand, even though the kings and queens of Europe sanctioned all the expeditions, the lead explorer had to get everything for himself and secure his own ship, hire his own crews, purchase all his own supplies, including his own weapons. So he was on a budget. So this was a cheaper alternative to the new guns that were coming out. Basically, these were army surplus. Another reason they liked them was because they knew the potential enemies he would come across here in the New World. The natives, the Indians, didn't have plate armor like in Europe, didn't have chainmail armor. So this could be a very effective backup weapon. And third, and most importantly, they use these for hunting. Now picture this, Spanish come here to Florida for the very first time. They bring their brand new guns with them. Now they see animals, wildlife around that they're going to have to hunt in order to survive. They take their brand new guns and they shoot and they miss. Now all these animals are now hearing that noise for the very first time. Every single one of them, now a mile away. They shot with a gun and missed. They probably weren't having dinner that night. They shot with a crossbow and missed. Hopefully it'll be quiet enough they'll have a second shot. Now, this is a demonstration bow. That's a really good replica of a Spanish-style military bow they would have used in the 14th, 15th centuries. But this one has a relatively light string pull draw weight, somewhere right around 70, maybe 75 pounds. Now, Spanish would have had draw weights. Crossbows with draw weights of 100, 200, up to 300 pound bow. 70, 75, easy enough to pull back by hand. 300 would have been a lot more difficult. So some crossbows had levers. Some actually had two-hand cranks that would help crank the string back into position. And the crossbow shot a projectile very similar to this. Now this is not an arrow. We call them bolts. The Spanish actually call them quarrels. And if you notice, it's fletched, meaning feathers, on two sides as opposed to three. That's because there's a groove right here on top of this crossbow, and that bolt fits right into that groove. Now they had no sights in their crossbows. Basically, all they did was look down the shaft of the bolt, point it, let it fly, and hopefully it went somewhere close to what they were looking at. Like that. And this is a relatively small boat. It's not so large. You need a carriage, almost like a cannon carriage, to even carry it. We'll try one more. Not too bad. Looks like we'll have dinner tonight after all, which is a good thing. What do you think? Pretty quiet, right?
Why would they use the heavier, the 200 would it go farther?
Sure.
Up,
Yeah, heavier projectile, longer
stronger
distance.
hit?
Right, so like I said, that's how the crossbow works. Pretty quiet. Now for something totally different. Then you got to get a big long stick with a wet sponge on it, and you have to swab the cannon barrel up. Because you have burning embers in there that were liable to light the next bag of powder that got shoved down that barrel. Not good for your powder man. We get around that with our guns. Now our gun here is a replica of a 1300s cannon. This cannon is so old. Somebody help me out.
How old is it?
Thank you. This cannon is so old that it would have shot cannonballs at Joan of Arc. Okay, we're talking medieval technology here. But because of its design and the topography here in St. Augustine, they were ideal. Now, if you look to the rear of the cannon on the left-hand side, you'll see a metal cylinder standing there with two rings in it. That is a powder mug. Spanish called it a servidor. You put gunpowder in there, handful of Spanish moss, pounded it down nice and tight. Now that slides into the rear of the cannon tube, just like you shove a cartridge into a rifle barrel. There is one already loaded. Now, there is a horizontal wooden block laying there. That's the breech block. That keeps it nice and snug in the back of the gun. That's the breech charge. Simply roll a cannonball down the barrel, come back down with your powder horn, charge the touch hole, and boom, you're off. Now, there were 20 guns aligned along the coast here. And I'm saying from over here all the way over there to the mission, this was all dry land here. Okay. The beach, the water you see out here did not exist as it is now. This was a nice long beach with a nice bay, with a massive sandbar way out that circled all the way around to Anastasia Island. So it was beautiful, wide open beach. Now, these guns would have been aligned along here. They would have had multiple servidors behind each. In case of an action, they could be reloaded and fired by a Spanish gun crew of 5, 3 to 4 times a minute. Okay, so you do the math. Well, I'll do the math for you. That's 60 to 80 cannonballs going down range every minute. Okay, down range, you'd be right out there over that island with the trees on it. Now, you probably saw the lighthouse as you were walking around today. Okay, out where the lighthouse is now is where the entrance to the channel into St. Augustine began. It was very narrow and very shallow. Only 9.5 feet deep at high tide. Okay, now these guns, I don't know if I said, they have a range of about 2 miles. Our little gun has a range of about 1 mile. And to give you an idea, if you look right down there at the Bridge of Lions, that's just about a mile away. No, I'm not saying we could hit it, but we sure could scare the heck out of it. Spanish gunners practice for the most part at a half to 3/4 of a mile. They were some of the finest gunners in the world. So you may not think it's a very fair fight, 2-mile guns against 1-mile guns. Problem is, your 2-mile guns are on your boat and your boat's 4 miles away. So you cannot bring your big guns to the gunfight. So if you're going to attack St. Augustine, you have to use smaller craft to come in that inlet. You have to use the longboats that were on the ships, or whaleboat sized vessels, if you're familiar with those. You might use something like the chalupa over here. That is not a menu item at Chipotle, okay? That is a 39-foot long, 9-foot across the beam Spanish workboat from the Basque region of Spain. Now that would have been constructed here by the Spanish once they arrived, and that one was actually built right over here at the boathouse. It has an 11-man crew, 5 men rowing out a side, 1 man at the tiller. That will carry about 4,000 pounds of freight. Okay, so you're going to put soldiers in boats like that, whale boats, long boats. Those guys are going to be wearing helmets, probably steel breastplates, chainmail possibly, carrying a pike, carrying a musket, sword, dagger, ammunition. You're going to be all geared up. Well, that cannonball comes out of the gun at about 400 miles an hour with a full load of gunpowder behind it. It's going to go through the side of a boat like that, like tissue paper. And that's where you get your bang for your buck. That wood's going to shatter and take out anything behind it. So, if you're fortunate enough not to be hit by the cannonball, not to be hit by what the cannonball hit, you're still wearing all that gear and your boat's sinking. Okay, so there's no coming back from that. Plus, at a certain point, about 200 yards or so, they're going to stop shooting cannonballs at you. And they're going to switch out to grape shot, which are bags, 6-pound bags, in this case, of steel balls the size of walnuts. So now your 20 cannon become 20 shotgun. Okay. Too bad, so sad. Now, to get that ball a distance of 1 mile at 400 miles an hour, takes half its weight in gunpowder. Simple cannonball physics. Whatever your ball weighs, you use half the gunpowder of that weight. So we're looking at 3 pounds here, comparable to 6 sticks of dynamite. Okay? Be a fantastic explosion. That cannon to fly up in the air, probably roll off the platform. All the windows would be blown out here and over there. We'd be arrested. You guys would be going to the emergency room. We don't want that, especially going to jail dressed like this. So we're not going to fire 3 pounds. The other thing is the Coast Guard does frown on large steel objects hurtling into the bay at high rates of speed. So we won't be shooting a cannonball either. But to get the shot you want, it's very simple. Point your camera, your device at the cannon, put your finger on or about the shutter button, because when this puppy barks, you're going to jump, and you will get the shot you want by accident. I'll give 2 commands, Con España and Fuego. We'll fire on Fuego. Now, if you have sensitive hearing and we've got little wounds back there, please cover up your ears. It's not going to be totally deafening, so if you want to just enjoy. You ready? Con España! Fuego!
I guess I'd sleep on these.
Yep.